In Game 1 of the NBA playoffs, the Los Angeles Lakers are taking on the Memphis Grizzlies. This is a 2 versus 7 seed matchup, with Memphis being the 2 seed and LA being the 7 seed, which means that Memphis will have the home court advantage for this series, and the opening game of the series will be played on Memphis's home floor. But I want to talk about some of the keys going into this matchup and what to look for when you're watching Game 1, in case you might not be familiar with either one of these teams. Now, when you look at the Los Angeles Lakers, you might immediately think of their stars, LeBron James and Anthony Davis. And for the Memphis Grizzlies, you might wonder, who's going to guard those guys? Well, I'd look at Dillon Brooks and Jaren Jackson Jr. as the matchups for LeBron and Anthony Davis. I think that the Grizzlies will probably put Dillon Brooks on LeBron and Jaren Jackson Jr. on AD. Those guys are the Grizzlies' two best defenders, and while you can't really hope to stop LeBron James and Anthony Davis completely and take them out of the game, those are going to be the two guys who give you the best chance of at least slowing down the Lakers stars if you're Memphis. Now, for the Los Angeles Lakers, it's interesting to look at who will guard Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant. The Los Angeles Lakers don't necessarily have a guard who is an elite defender who you'd immediately think, oh, this guy is a great matchup for Ja Morant. I mean, no guy is really going to be able to completely hold Ja Morant, but the Lakers don't necessarily have a guard who immediately comes to mind as an elite defender. But one guy who you could look at to get some potential minutes in this series is Shaq Harrison. The Lakers signed him right ahead of the playoffs, and he was the G League Defensive Player of the Year. This season, he was named to the G League All-Defensive Team, but it'll be interesting to see if he gets any run in the Lakers rotation, considering he was just signed to the team and was not playing on an NBA roster this season prior to that, I believe. So it's going to be interesting to see what his role is with the Lakers and if they'll bring him in as a defensive presence for the team. Otherwise, maybe the Lakers look to put one of their wings on Ja Morant. You look at a guy like Jared Vanderbilt, who is an elite defender. He is one of the better defenders in the league. He's a great hustle guy, brings a lot of energy. He's active on the glass, and he's a player who I think could be a solid matchup for Ja Morant with his length, but I don't know if he'll be able to keep up with Ja's quickness. That's a big issue, though. Ja is very quick getting to the rim. Now, you could have a guy like Anthony Davis protecting the paint for you in case Ja Morant gets by one of your guys, but then that opens up shots for the Memphis Grizzlies because the Grizzlies do have some really good shooters. Look at guys like Tyus Jones, Desmond Bane, and Luke Kennard to get going from the three-point line, but also don't underestimate a guy like Jaren Jackson Jr., who is a good three-point shooter for the Grizzlies as well. And you can't necessarily completely disrespect Ja Morant's three-point shot because he's been known to knock a couple down here or there as well. If you're the Memphis Grizzlies, you also don't want to underestimate the Los Angeles Lakers playoff experience. LeBron James and Anthony Davis were a part of the 2020 NBA Championship Lakers, and this Lakers team isn't exactly your average 7 seed. The Los Angeles Lakers got off to a 2-10 start to the season, and after some major moves at the trade deadline by Lakers GM Rob, reason they finished with the 2nd seed. But with the Grizzlies missing guys like Steven Adams and Brandon Clark, some of their size in the front court will be depleted, and also you have to look at the fact that the Lakers are hot coming into the playoffs, and they've also been able to get some rest after the play-in tournament, and it seems like towards the end of the season, and even in that play-in game against the Timberwolves, the Lakers were kind of dragging and tired. So once they come off some rest, I think that this team could be really dangerous in the playoffs, especially considering the entirety of their roster is healthy going into this one. The